Hello everyone, Josh Oakes here, and I'm really excited on this video to introduce to you a topic called 7 Tips to Understanding What Business You're In. This is a really unique one here at Media Leaders, and I have somebody straight from New York named Steve Lance. He's the author of 5 books and a principal at PS Insights. Steve, welcome to the show.
Josh, thanks so much for having me here today.
Well, it's an honor to have you. You know, we have a very close mutual friend, and I had no idea how powerful your tips were when we first sat down to breakfast. I started reading your book, and I went, wow, this guy knows what he's doing. And then I realized I can't afford you, so why don't I beg you to be on this show, this video, and maybe you can share some of your tactical tips. And you're so kind in the middle of New York to do this on this day, so I'm honored to have you here. And now this is going to be something where you get to take over, and we're going to keep it tactical. So I'll ask you some questions along the way. But Steve, dive in deep, and you've got many years of experience and 5 books out, which is great, and a firm that you run and a business partner. Teach us how to understand what business we're in, please.
Glad to do it, Josh. Thanks for the introduction. The question of what business you're in is the most important question you have to answer in 2013 and going forward in the years to come, because the internet and social media have completely changed the conversation. So the real issue is, how are you going to sell what your customers want? And you're probably sitting there saying, well, I know what my customers want. They want what I do. I'm a dentist, I'm a doctor, I'm a retail store owner, I own a gas station, I'm a plumber, whatever. That's not good enough anymore. You say, I'm a printer, you're now competing with printers all around the world. Even the Chinese printers who thought they had an opportunity to win our market are now losing to Vietnamese printers. So the question becomes, what is the value that you can bring to your customers that they can't get anyplace else but where they do business with you? And that's the secret to moving forward, and that's the role that you need to be thinking about and you need to be playing, and it's the 7 points that we're going to cover today.
This is great.
So Josh, I would appreciate it if you would try to be the voice of whoever is watching and listening, and jump in with any questions as we go.
I love it. And everybody that's watching this right now, I want you to think about, what is my value to the customer in 1 sentence or less. Now, Steve he really is somebody that has the knowledge here, but think about what that value is. And I think by the end of this video, Steve will direct you in a bit of a different idea and more refine that. So I'm excited about that, especially for myself.
Thanks. Well, let me give you start with a little background. So we all thought Amazon was in the book business, and Amazon built their foundation on being a bookseller, and they took down a Barnes & Noble. They're taking down Barnes & Noble, and they took down Borders, and they became a very, very aggressive bookseller. But Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, knew right from the beginning that they weren't a bookseller. They knew that they were going to sell everything. And if you look at the Amazon logo that people didn't pay attention to, you'll see that little smiley arrow going from A to Z.
Genius.
And in fact, the CEO of the company once said the only thing that Amazon will not sell is concrete and water. And when the reporters asked why, she said, because of the shipping costs. But as far as Amazon is concerned, anyone and anything is fair game. And in fact, Walmart, which has been talking about the fact that they offer the lowest prices anywhere, is now facing competition from Amazon, because Amazon's opening up regional distribution centers, and it's going to be promising same-day delivery anywhere in the United States. So right away, we had one idea about what business they were in, and they had another one completely. So let's give you another example. Well, how about Starbucks? What business are they in? You're probably thinking to yourself, well, they're in the coffee business. I go, no, actually not really. Maxwell House is in the coffee business. Folgers is in the coffee business. And Dunkin' Donuts here in the East knows that their customers consider year after year, their customers give them the award for the highest quality coffee. So what business is Starbucks in? And the answer is one that was given right in the book. In the biography that he wrote about the Starbucks, he talked about Starbucks being the third place. What they wanted to do was create a place that you would think about between the first place and the second place. So your first place is home, your second place is work, unless you're a workaholic like me, in which case the first place is work, the second place is home, and Starbucks is the third place. It's the place Howard Schultz wants you to stop at the third place between 1 and 2, on your way home from 2 to 1, when you need a break from either 1 or number 2. And once you understand that their strategy is to be the third place, then everything makes sense. The easy chairs, the free Wi-Fi, the beer and wine that they're testing in stores on the West Coast, the atmosphere that they're creating with the smell of coffee. They're creating not a man den, but a people den. That's what they're trying to do with Starbucks coffee. So recognizing, and they've even taken coffee off of the logo. Their new logo is just the mermaid without the word Starbucks coffee around it. So you need to understand that you don't have to tell people what business you're in, but you yourself personally have to know what business you're in and how to deliver on that. So you're probably saying to yourself right now, oh, sure, multi-billion-dollar brands, Starbucks, Amazon, I'm not one of those. Well, let me ask you another question. What about a guy named Mike Holmes? Now, there are approximately 400,000 contractors in the United States, another 37 contractors in Canada, and the question that I would ask you is, why Mike Holmes? Why does Mike Holmes have 3 shows on HGTV and a magazine and a book and lectures all around the world? He's just a contractor. He's a Canadian contractor. Well, the funny part of it is that Mike I was watching a clip in which he was being interviewed, and he turned to his client and he said, my job is to make your... He didn't turn to the customer and say, my job is to fix your plumbing, my job is to repair your roof. He turned to the customer and said, my job is to make your dreams come true. Josh, if I turned to you right now and I said to you, Josh, my job is to make your dreams come true, folks, I think Josh is planning to come home with me tonight. You know, because Josh recognized it. Who wouldn't want that as a promise? Yeah. And so here's a contractor, an ordinary contractor, one of 450,000 in North America, and he just comes out of the pack because he understands what the true delivery and what the true value of the service is that he offers.
Very true.
And that's what I want to talk about. So there are really 7 steps to understanding what business you're in. And that's what I mean when I say, what business are you in? And those 7 steps are as follows. This is, let's review what we're going to cover. Number 1 is you've got to know your customers and what they think of you. Number 2 is you have to focus on what your customers think you do best. Number 3 is you have to turn those insights into a brand positioning. Then 4, you have to develop your strategy and message. 5, determine communication touch points. Number 6, activate your plan. And 7, measure your communication. And we're going to go through each one of these in depth and give you an understanding of how to find out the answers to these 7 points and get a sense of what business you're really in. So, number 1, know your customers and what they think of you. And so sit down after you watch this and take a notepad, or take a notepad right now, and answer the following question. Why does anyone do business with you? Why, right now, currently, why does anybody do business with you? Are you the most convenient? Do you deliver the best service? Do you sell something nobody else in the world sells? I don't think that's possible, but maybe it is. So the first question is, why do they do business with you? The second question is, what's their socioeconomic business profile? This is true whether you're business to business, business to consumer, B2B, B2C. It really doesn't matter. There is a profile.
Steve, can you give me an example, a tactical example of what a socioeconomic business profile is?
Well, sure, absolutely, but it's not. Those are 3 different things. What the point I'm trying to make here is the finer that you can define your customer. You know, I remember saying to somebody, who's your customer, and a local retailer in town, and the retailer said, everybody in town. Now, the retailer sold hardware. And I said, oh, really? Everybody in town? He said, absolutely. I said, so every 8-year-old kid needs plumbing supplies?
Yeah.
He said, well, no. I said, so every housewife in town needs plumbing supplies, electrical supplies or plumbing supplies? He said, well, no. I said, so who is it? Well, every guy in town. I said, oh, really? So a guy who's bought a brand new house and has never done one bit of work himself on a house, and that's perfect in perfect condition right now, he needs you? Well, no, it's somebody whose house is a few years old. It might need some repairs. And the more I pushed him, the more I prodded him, he began to understand that there were different levels of, quote, everybody in town. It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
One of the things we like to say is if you're trying to do business, if you try to reach everyone, you're going to reach no one.
Yeah.
And the way to identify that a little further is I would say to you, who's your white hot passionate core? Who are the people who are doing business with you day in, day out, on a regular basis, week in, week out? Who are those people? And what makes them different from the average person in the community or in your market? And my other question I would ask is, how do you know that? And one of the ways that you can find out is by doing some research into the question of who your customers are. And I'll show you how to do that as you get to number 2, which is to focus on what your customers think you do best. And what you're going to do is you're going to conduct a survey, or you're going to do some research, and you're going to find out what motivates them to work with you. I have a service business. My partners and I write marketing books, and
I hope you're enjoying this video so far. This has been a preview of the Media Leaders Virtual Conference, where you can learn social media, PR, marketing, and sales. There's 20+ tactical presentations to build your business. You can learn more about it at MediaLeaders.com, or register using the link below this video, right below it. Maybe it's above it, but probably below. Now, this conference, you're probably asking, why should I even register? Well, don't buy a plane ticket, don't reserve a hotel room, or don't even leave the office, because we're bringing 24 of the best social media, PR, marketing, and sales professionals directly to you, and we call it the Media Leaders Virtual Conference. It's a little bit different. You can register at, like I mentioned, at MediaLeaders.com, or use the link below this video. It's designed for small and mid-sized businesses that want online techniques and real-world business advice that's tactical. We're going to give you 7 tactical tips in less than 45 minutes from each one of our professionals, over 24 presenters, that you're going to get the chance to dive in deep into their subject matter. They're experts in their field, and they're the hardworking people that we admire and that we want to hire here at Media Leaders. You can watch the presentations on your schedule at any time, as long as you want. Also, if you accept our bonus at the end, you get a free copy of my best-selling book, Light, Bright, and Polite. And as if that's not enough, you get a 100% money-back guarantee if you're not 100% satisfied. I hope you'll join us at the Media Leaders Virtual Conference. You can register at MediaLeaders.com or click the link below this video. I look forward to seeing you at the conference. Have a great day.